you ever feel like you are never good enough? No matter how much you do, it still doesn't seem to be enough. You try your best, but there's always that voice in your head telling you that you should have done more. You replay mistakes over and over, wishing you could go back and fix them. You are not alone. So many people feel this way. They push themselves too hard, expecting perfection at every step. They hold themselves to impossible standards and feel guilty when they fall short. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why am I being so unkind to myself? Why do I speak to myself in a way I would never speak to a friend? We are often our own worst critics. We judge ourselves harshly, focusing only on our flaws and ignoring our strengths. We carry the weight of past mistakes, punishing ourselves long after the lesson has been learned. This constant self-criticism drains your energy. It steals your joy. It makes life feel like an endless struggle where you are always chasing an unreachable goal. But here's the truth: perfection does not exist. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You don't have to have everything figured out to deserve kindness. You deserve to be treated with the same compassion and love that you give to others. You deserve to feel peace within yourself. It's time to let go of the heavy burden of self-judgment. It's time to give yourself the kindness you truly deserve. Have you ever wondered why you are so hard on yourself? Why does that critical voice in your head feel so loud and powerful? For many of us, it started a long time ago. Maybe you grew up in a home where love felt conditional, only given when you were successful, quiet, or obedient. Maybe you were told to always do better, to always aim higher, and never settle for less. Over time, you learned that mistakes were not lessons, but proof that you were not enough. Society makes this even harder. Everywhere you look, there is pressure to be perfect, to achieve more, to look better, and to always be in control. We compare ourselves to others, especially on social media. We see their success, their happiness, their perfect lives, and we wonder, why am I not like them? But what we don't see is their struggle, their fears, and the moments when they doubt themselves too. We assume that everyone else has it all figured out while we are still struggling. The truth is, no one is perfect. Everyone has insecurities. Everyone has moments of self-doubt. But when we believe the lie that we are not good enough, we become trapped in a cycle of self-judgment. We set impossible expectations for ourselves and feel like failures when we don't reach them. It's time to question this belief. It's time to ask yourself, who told me I had to be perfect to be worthy? Who made me believe that kindness was something I deserved only after I had achieved enough? You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be human. And being human means growing, learning, and giving yourself grace along the way. Being too hard on yourself doesn't just stay in your mind. It affects every part of your life. When you constantly judge yourself, you feel drained. It's like carrying a heavy weight that never lets you rest. You feel anxious, always wondering if you are doing enough. You feel stressed, afraid of making mistakes, even the small ones. Over time, self-criticism can lead to burnout. You push yourself beyond your limits, ignoring your own needs. It can also affect your relationships. When you don't feel good about yourself, it's hard to accept love, appreciation, or kindness from others. You may feel like you don't deserve happiness. You may struggle to celebrate your own achievements because you always believe you should have done more. But imagine a life where you spoke to yourself with kindness. A life where you forgave yourself for being human, for making mistakes, for not always knowing the right answer. Self-compassion doesn't make you weak, it makes you stronger because it allows you to keep going without the weight of self-judgment holding you down. Your mind should be a place of support, not a battlefield. The way you talk to yourself shapes the way you experience life. So ask yourself, what would happen if, just for today, you chose to be gentle with yourself? What if, instead of criticism, you gave yourself understanding? What if the way you speak to yourself could change your life? What if being kind to yourself was the key to feeling at peace? Many people think self-careness is a weakness. They believe they must be tough on themselves to stay motivated and successful. But the truth is, kindness does not make you lazy. It does not stop you from growing. In fact, when you treat yourself with kindness, you create a space for real growth. You allow yourself to learn without fear, to improve without shame. Think about how you encourage a friend who is struggling. You remind them they are doing their best. You tell them mistakes don't define them. Now ask yourself, why don't you say these same words to yourself? Why is it so easy to be kind to others, but so difficult to be kind to yourself? You are not weak for being gentle with yourself. You are not failing by choosing peace over self-punishment. Self-kindness does not mean ignoring your mistakes. It means learning from them without tearing yourself apart. It means reminding yourself that you are human. It means knowing that you deserve love, not just from others, but from yourself too. You don't have to earn self-kindness. You deserve it simply because you are here, trying, growing, and doing the best you can. Have you ever noticed the voice inside your head? The one that whispers doubts and reminds you of every mistake? This voice is your inner critic. It is the part of you that focuses on your flaws and tells you that you are not enough. It shows up when you fail, when you struggle, and even when you succeed. No matter what you do, it always finds something to criticize. You might hear it say, "I should have done better," or "Why do I always mess things up?" At first, you may not even notice it. It feels like a normal part of your thoughts, like background noise. But this voice is not always right. Just because it is loud does not mean it speaks the truth. The first step to overcoming self-criticism is recognizing it. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself when things go wrong. Would you say these same words to someone you love? Would you treat a friend the way you treat yourself? Your inner critic is not your enemy, but it does not have to control you. You can choose to challenge it. You can choose a kinder voice. The next time you hear yourself being too harsh, pause. Remind yourself that you are doing your best, and that is always enough. What if you could change the way you speak to yourself? What if, instead of judgment, you chose understanding? Your thoughts have power. The words you repeat in your mind shape how you see yourself and the world around you. If you keep telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," you start to believe it. If you always say, "I'll never succeed," you stop trying. But what if you changed the script? What if, instead of saying, "I failed," you said, "I learned something new"? Instead of, "I'm not smart enough," say, "I'm still growing." Instead of, "I always make mistakes," say, "I am human and I am learning." This small shift can change everything. It can turn self-doubt into self-acceptance and fear into confidence. It does not mean ignoring your mistakes. It means choosing to learn from them without tearing yourself down. It means giving yourself the same patience you give to others. It means allowing yourself to move forward without the weight of guilt. You are not the negative thoughts in your head. You have the power to rewrite your story. So, the next time you catch yourself in self-criticism, pause. Choose a kinder thought. Choose a better way to see yourself. Kindness starts with small choices. The way you treat yourself every day shapes how you feel about your life. One simple way to practice self-kindness is through the words you use. Replace harsh self-talk with gentle encouragement. Instead of saying, "I'm so stupid," say, "I am learning." Instead of, "I can't do anything right," say, "I am doing my best, and that is enough." Another way to be kind to yourself is by setting realistic expectations. You don't have to be perfect. You only need to keep moving forward. Give yourself permission to rest. You are not lazy for taking breaks. You are taking care of yourself. Do things that bring you peace. A quiet walk, a deep breath, a moment of stillness. These small acts remind you that you matter too. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Be around those who see your worth, even when you forget it yourself. Let go of guilt for putting yourself first. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It allows you to show up in the world as your best self. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Every time you choose kindness over judgment, you take a step toward a better, lighter life. You deserve that. You always have. Mistakes do not define you. They are simply lessons in disguise. Every person who has ever succeeded has also failed. Every great achievement comes with moments of struggle. But too often we treat our mistakes as proof that we are not good enough. We hold on to them, replaying them in our minds over and over again. Blaming yourself does not change the past. It only makes the present heavier and the future harder to reach. Instead of self-blame, choose self-reflection. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why do I always mess up? Growth comes from understanding, not punishment. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of success and happiness. Think about the people you admire. They have made mistakes too. They kept going because they allowed themselves to learn instead of giving up. You deserve the same grace. You deserve the same patience. So, the next time you make a mistake, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that mistakes are part of the journey, not the end of it. Let go of the guilt, take the lesson, and move forward with kindness in your heart. The people and environments around you shape the way you see yourself. What you allow into your life can either lift you up or tear you down. If you are always surrounded by negativity, it is easy to believe that you are not enough. If you are always comparing yourself to others, it is easy to feel like you are falling behind. Social media can make this even harder. You see people's best moments, but rarely their struggles. You start to believe that everyone else has a perfect life except you. You forget that what you see online is not always real. Be mindful of what you consume. If something makes you feel small, step away from it. Choose relationships that bring peace into your life. Be around people who see your worth, even when you can't see it yourself. Let go of toxic comparisons. Your journey is yours alone, and it does not have to look like anyone else's. Protect your energy. Set boundaries with people who drain you, and spend more time with those who make you feel valued. Fill your mind with positivity. Read words that inspire you. Listen to things that encourage you. You have the power to create a space where kindness and self-acceptance can grow. Choose that space and let yourself thrive. You have spent so much time being hard on yourself. You have carried the weight of self-judgment for too long. But you don't have to live this way. You don't have to treat yourself like you are never enough. You are human, and being human means learning, growing, and making mistakes. It means having moments of doubt, but also moments of strength. Every time you choose kindness over criticism, you heal a little more. Every time you speak to yourself with love, you take a step toward peace. You deserve to feel free. You deserve to feel light. Let go of the voice that tells you that you are not good enough. Let in the voice that reminds you that you are worthy, just as you are. Start small, one kind thought at a time, one gentle word at a time. With each step, you will begin to see yourself in a new way, not as someone who needs fixing, but as someone who deserves love. And that love starts with you. You deserve the same kindness that you give to others.